A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Well, the spotlight this morning is on Uttar Pradesh as it is voting in the fifth phase of assembly polls in the state. Well, we will get you all the up-to-date information from our reporters who are there on the ground tracking the polling in the state. All the details to follow. Let us start with the headlines. Voting underway for fifth phase of elections in Uttar Pradesh. 51 seats spread across 11 districts polling. Prime Minister pitches for more scientists in the country in his radio address Man Ki Baat, says the need to harness technology for the benefit of the common man. Gujarat ATS arrests two suspected ISIS operatives. Duo allegedly planning serial blasts at religious spots. Security at Somnath Temple tightened. Bihar IS Officers Association meets Governor, demands a CBI probe into Staff Selection Commission Chairman's arrest. Say they won't comply with any instructions even from CM's office unless given in written. And the Oscar Awards 2017 is underway. Mahershala Ali makes history by becoming the first Muslim to win an acting Oscar, wins Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight. Dev Patel loses out. Well, we first up bring up news from the states that are going to polls this year. Well, polling is underway for 51 constituencies spread over 11 districts in Uttar Pradesh today in the fifth phase of elections in the state. Well, the districts are spread across the Awadh and eastern regions include Amethi, Sultanpur, Faizabad, Barabanki, Ambedkar Nagar and Bahraich. Well, polling was to be held in 52 assembly seats, but due to the death of the Samajwadi Party candidate, voting in Alapur has been postponed to 9th of March. Elaborate security arrangements are in place to ensure smooth polling. Well, a total of 608 candidates, including 40 women, are in the fray. Now, more than 1 crore 81 lakh eligible electorates, including over 3 lakh first-time voters, will decide the political fate of the contestants. Now, BSP has fielded its nominees in all the 51 segments, while BJP is in contest in 50 seats. Well, party has left one seat to its ally Apna Dal. Well, Samajwadi Party nominees are in fray from 43 constituencies, I beg your pardon, and its ally Congress is in contest in 14 seats. In the previous elections in 2012, the ruling SP had won 37 seats out of the 52, including Alapur, while the BJP and the Congress had won 5 each, while the BSP had won 3 and the Peace Party had won 2 seats. And also, the Indo-Nepal border in districts like Bahraich have been sealed as part of this elaborate security arrangements for this phase. Also, sensitive and critical polling stations have been identified, and central paramilitary forces are engaged in conducting a flag march to instill a sense of security among electorates. Over 1,600 hamlets and over 2,300 polling stations have been identified as sensitive and critical. Now, arrangements have been made at 1,792 polling stations for the webcasting of poll process. All right, let's get an up-to-date information on what is happening on the ground. My colleague Shyam Sundar is now joining us from Faizabad. Also, we have Panchanan Mishra joining us from Bahraich. All right, if I could come to you first, Panchanan, a very good morning. It is a very fine day that we are seeing. Speaking on the ground, it's just 1 hour into the voting. What is the trend that you are seeing? How many people have started trickling in at the moment?
Good morning, Aishwarya. Let me show you the lines first. You can see the lines behind me. The huge number of voters are here to cast their vote, exercise their franchisee. And especially the women's. You can see the large number of women are here, and it is very good sign for the democracy that women are getting equal participation, and they're very much equally involved in the poll process, and the large number of women are here to cast their vote. The issues here in this fifth phase is the most of the seats are the eastern UPs, the 51 seats are going to poll, and our then eastern UP region is going for poll for this fifth phase. And the issues are really the development issues and the unemployment. These two issues are dominating the entire poll up to fifth round of poll. And when we talk to people, then they are saying that they want only development and employment also. So this is going to be a big issues on which lines the voters are coming to cast their vote. And if we talk to regarding political parties, then we are witnessing the triangular fight among BJP or BSP or its alliance of Samajwadi and Congress party. So the triangular fight is all over in the seats, and the Muslim voters are playing very crucial role, because if we talk to this Bahraich city seat, there are 54% Muslim voters are here, so they may be very crucial for every political parties, and it may be very crucial for all the political parties.
Absolutely. You stay with us, Panchanan. We'll just come back to you. Let's go across to Sham. Sham, a very good morning. In Bahraich, we are seeing serpentine queues outside the polling booths, but at the place where you are in, of course, Faizabad, Ayodhya and Faizabad is a highly, very important, prestigious constituency really for the BJP. What is the mood that you can gauge at the moment?
As far as mood is concerned, as Panchanan was telling that there are long queues in Bahraich, we can see long queues here in Faizabad also. Behind me you can see the long queues. There are different queues for women voters and male voters. So both the lines are long, and 7 o'clock itself when voting started, people started coming in for voting. Let me take you to the few of the voters. What are the issues which will dominate their mind when they are going to vote? अच्छा, अपना नाम मुझे बता दीजिए।
अभिनव शर्मा।
अभिनव जी, जब आप वोट डालने जाएंगे तो कौन से ऐसे मुद्दे हैं जिन पे आप तय करेंगे कि इस उम्मीदवार को मैं वोट दूंगा?
मुद्दे तो बहुत हैं सर,
फिर भी एक दो मुद्दा अगर बताना चाहें।
बेरोजगारी।
बेरोजगारी बड़ा मुद्दा है
जी।
और फैजाबाद के अगर स्थानीय मुद्दों की कोई बात करें,
स्थानीय में तो सब ठीक है सर, सबसे बड़ी तो दिक्कत बेरोजगारी की है।
बेरोजगारी तो नौजवानों के लिए। अच्छा, आपके पास अगर मैं आना चाहूँ, जब आप वोट डालने जाएंगे तो कौन सी ऐसी बात होगी जिस पर आप ये तय करेंगे कि मैं इस उम्मीदवार को वोट दूंगा?
मैं कोई भी उम्मीदवार को वोट दे सकता हूँ, कोई ये नहीं ना कि मैं किस उम्मीदवार को वोट दूं।
उम्मीदवार को वोट देंगे ना? जी हाँ। तो कौन सा ऐसी बात है जिस पे आप तय करेंगे?
नहीं भाई, तुम्हारे में तो भी नहीं बता सकते, वो अंदर जाने के बाद।
अंदर जाके आप वोट डालेंगे। अच्छा, आपसे अगर मैं बात करूं, अपना नाम मुझे पहले बता दीजिए।
हेमंत मिश्रा।
हेमंत जी, किस मुद्दे पे आप वोट डालेंगे, किस उम्मीदवार को वोट डालेंगे?
नहीं, किस उम्मीदवार को डालेंगे ये बताना उचित नहीं है। किसको डालेंगे, है ना? हाँ। और डालेंगे तो वही।
लेकिन मुद्दे क्या हैं?
अरे
इशू है जो आपके दिमाग में सबसे ऊपर है?
बेरोजगारी है, भ्रष्टाचार है, सब चीज से मुक्त शासन मिले, और क्या।
आप एक और नौजवान से बात करते हैं। आप अपना नाम मुझे बता दीजिए।
मनु विक्रम सिंह।
मनु विक्रम सिंह जी, आपके लिए कौन सी बड़ी बात है जब आप तय करेंगे मैं इस पार्टी को वोट दूंगा?
सर, मेन तो है बैकग्राउंड, मतलब कि क्रिमिनली ना हो मेनली। उसके बाद तो और सब तो सारे सबके ही अपने अपने इश्यूज हैं कि भ्रष्टाचार और ये वो फलाने वाला। मैंने देखा कि सब साफ सुथरी छवि का होना चाहिए।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। सो देर आर डिफरेंट इश्यूज फॉर डिफरेंट वोटर्स. यूथ इज टॉकिंग अबाउट एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड देर आर फ्यू वोटर्स हु से दैट कैंडिडेट मैटर फॉर देम, एंड फॉर सम वोटर्स लोकल इश्यूज मैटर मोर व्हेन दे गो टू वोट फॉर देयर कैंडिडेट.
Absolutely. And Sham, as far as this phase of elections is concerned, we saw a very shrill campaign, really. In fact, all the leaders indulging in, really below the belt remarks. But as far as voters are concerned, they're looking at concrete things like, as you were talking to the voters, employment issues, their development issues. But how far has this campaign been really able to mold their, the way they're going to vote today?
Well, as far as political parties are concerned and their campaign is concerned, you are right. At times, even senior leaders were hitting below the belt and accusing their opponents. We have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi, BJP President Amit Shah, and even Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav. But on later stage, we seen that Akhilesh Yadav, he was talking on development issues and he was focusing on roads and improved power supply and other issues, and the Prime Minister also was talking about corruption, free society and digitalized economy and employment also. So as far as voters are concerned, they are very clear. Of course, when senior leader come and speak in the rallies, they try to influence voters, but as far as voters are concerned, they are very, very clear. Their issues are very clear. For some voters, local issues matter more. For some voters who are committed to some political party, for them national issues also matter. Like we were talking to few of the voters on the issue of demonetization. So few of the voters, they feel that demonetization has affected the economy in a bad way, but there are few voters who think that Narendra Modi has taken a bold step. So as far as voters are concerned, they are very, very clear about their choices.
Absolutely, and during Faizabad, obviously Ayodhya is one of the key constituencies really that the BJP would be looking as a prestige battle. But apart from that, there are also other interesting contests in the offing. Of course, we have Amethi, where we have SP's controversial Minister Gayatri Prajapati, who is facing Amita Shah of the Congress and the Garima Singh of the BJP.
Well, as far as Ayodhya is concerned, for 25 years, Bharatiya Janata Party was winning this seat till 2012. And in 2012, Samajwadi Party got this seat. And you know that Ayodhya was in the center of BJP's politics, not only in Uttar Pradesh, but at national level also. And this election also, we heard at least local leaders, they were talking about the Ram Temple. And if you look at the BJP manifesto also say that they will build a Ram temple, but according to law and in the framework of constitution. So Ayodhya is very, very important as far as politics of Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. And other seats, if you were talking about Gayatri Prajapati, at one time he was expelled from Akhilesh government, but then he was again inducted, and he is considered very close to the Mulayam Singh Yadav, the tallest leader of Samajwadi Party. Of course, it was difficult for Samajwadi Party to defend him, and when Akhilesh Yadav went to address a rally in his constituency, he refused to share dais with Gayatri Prajapati. But for Samajwadi Party, because in the elections, social engineering also matters and social equations also matter. For that reason, and because he is very loyal to Mulayam Singh Yadav, so there are different reasons for which Akhilesh Yadav gave him ticket, and he campaigned for him also, though he refused to share dais with Gayatri Prajapati. But of course, BJP got a chance, and Samajwadi Party also got a chance to attack Samajwadi Party as far as Gayatri Prajapati and other tainted candidates are concerned.
Absolutely. So we have to wait and watch whether the social engineering tactics and the other tactics, campaigning tactics that the party have used, various political parties have used, will that really play on the minds of the voters as they are casting their votes today. But of course, the serpentine queues are seen outside all the polling booths. Thank you so much, Panchanan and Shyam Sundar, for joining us this morning. So UP voting for the 5th phase of the 7-phase elections in the state today. Meanwhile, campaigning for the remaining 2 phases of elections in Uttar Pradesh will continue today, while the Prime Minister will address a rally today in the afternoon in Mau, that votes in the 6th phase of elections, while Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will address the 3 rallies in Deoria, Maharajganj and Gorakhpur districts that goes to poll in the next phase on 4th of March. Now, Akhilesh Yadav will also hold 7 rallies today, 1 in Deoria and 6 rallies in Gorakhpur. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will hold election meetings in Salimpur and Mirzapur, and Badoi that vote in the upcoming 2 phases. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has written to all political parties to exercise a restraint while campaigning. Well, in its letter, the poll body has said that inflammatory statements are being made by some leaders with underlying object of mixing religion with election campaign. The letter also said that past advisories have not really yielded the desired results. The poll watchdog said that some of the statements were made from places where the model code of conduct is not in force. Well, urging parties to reverse the trend, the Commission said that such speeches indicate an unhealthy trend, which is a cause of concern. The Commission's reminder comes despite a recent landmark ruling where the Supreme Court had said that no politician can seek vote in the name of caste, creed or religion. And in Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back with more news.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation through his monthly Mann Ki Baat radio program. In his Sunday's address, the Prime Minister spoke on a range of issues from ISRO's historic record-breaking launch of 104 satellites on a single rocket and the need and importance of science, among others. He said that India needs more scientists to harness technology for the benefit of the common man, while hailing the scientific community for the record launch. Simultaneously, he noted that one of the satellites launched by PSLV is Cartosat 2D, which has become operational and is expected to be of great help in mapping of resources and infrastructure and planning for urban development. He also spoke about the promotion and popularity of digital transactions. In his over 30-minute address, the Prime Minister also lauded the role of the farmers for record production of food grains this year.
एक साथ 104 सैटेलाइट्स को अंतरिक्ष में भेजकर इतिहास रचने वाला भारत दुनिया का पहला देश बन गया। और ये भी खुशी की बात है कि यह लगातार 38वां PSLV का सफल लॉन्च है। यह न केवल इसरो के लिए बल्कि पूरे भारत के लिए एक ऐतिहासिक उपलब्धि है। हमारे लिए ये भी एक खुशी बात है कि इस सारे अभियान का नेतृत्व हमारे युवा वैज्ञानिक, हमारी महिला वैज्ञानिक उन्होंने किया है। मैं देशवासियों की तरफ से इसरो के वैज्ञानिकों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। आम जनता के लिए, राष्ट्र की सेवा के लिए अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान को लाने के अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव को वे सदैव बना रखा है।
On to some other news now, where security has been beefed up at the Somnath temple after the Gujarat ATS arrested 2 people for alleged links with the Islamic State group on Sunday, while the 2 were arrested from Rajkot and Bhavna Nagar. They have been identified as brothers Wasim and Naeem Ramodia. Now, police say that they have also recovered materials for making bombs from them, including 90-gram gunpowder and batteries. But the 2 terror suspects were allegedly planning a bomb blast in Chotila Mandir near Rajkot. Well, ATS was keeping a watch on both the brothers since the last 1.5 years. Well, according to police, they were in contact with Islamic State through Twitter and Facebook accounts.
हमारी ATS की टीम ने राजकोट से 2 एक्यूज को अरेस्ट किया है। एक का नाम है वसीम आरिफ रामोड़िया और दूसरा का नाम है नईम आरिफ रामोड़िया। दोनों भाई है। अभी एक धार्मिक स्थान पर वो अटैक करने वाले थे, वो इंफॉर्मेशन हमें मिली और इनके पास से हमने वर्कआउट किया तो टाइमली हमने ऑपरेशन करके इनको पकड़ लिया है।
Well, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has blamed an alliance of subversion for university campus violence that has emerged across India. Well, the Finance Minister was on a 5-day visit to the UK, gave this statement while addressing the South Asia Centre of the London School of Economics. Well, he was asked about his stand on the classification of the term anti-national and the clashes between left-affiliated AISA and ABVP supporters in Ramjas College in the national capital. Well, he also underlined that there can be ideological differences, but free speech does not permit one to assault the sovereignty of the country. That comment drew widespread criticism from opposition parties. Well, campus row at Ramjas College has been a focal point since last week when violent clashes broke out between a BJP-backed ABVP and left-backed AISA. News from Bihar now. Well, the IAS Officers Association on Sunday met Bihar Governor Ramnath Kovind and submitted a resolution demanding a CBI probe into the arrest of Bihar Staff Selection Commission Chairman Sudhir Kumar in connection with the papers leak scam. Well, the extraordinary general body meeting for the association held on Sunday was attended by 110 officers in which they demanded Kumar's immediate release. Well, a delegation submitted a resolution to the governor, who assured a quick look into the matter. Well, the association had also demanded a CBI probe to ensure an independent and fair inquiry. Well, a copy of the resolution will also be submitted to the Chief Minister, Nitish Kumar. Well, the resolution said that the association will not comply with any instructions coming from high office, including the office of a Chief Minister, unless it is given in written. Well, Sudhir Kumar, a senior IS officer who headed the Bihar Staff Selection Commission, was, remember, arrested on Friday for the leak of question papers in the recruitment examination conducted earlier this month. A SIT probe into the leak is also underway.
अरेस्टिंग किस परिस्थिति में किया जाना चाहिए, कैसे किया जाना चाहिए, इस पर हम लोग का पहले भी वो प्रश्न चिन्ह रहा है और जो जितेंद्र गुप्ता के मामले में जो हम लोग का व्यू पॉइंट था उसको हाई कोर्ट ने भी वर्चुअली माना, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी माना। तो हम लोग का यही कहना था कि भाई इस तरह के मामले में जहां आपको मालूम है कि कोऑपरेशन हो रहा है, आपको जो सूचनाएं चाहिए, जो इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए वो मिल रही हैं और कोई कौन नहीं कर रहा है और मतलब उस तरह की कोई परिस्थिति उत्पन्न नहीं हो रही है, तो आप इन्वेस्टिगेशन करें, लेकिन कोई आवश्यक नहीं कि हर एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन में हर एक व्यक्ति के अरेस्टिंग ही किया जाए।
And let's get you some more news from across the country nationwide. The Thane police have claimed to have busted a recruitment racket in the army following leak of question papers of an examination conducted by the Army Recruitment Board. Now, 18 suspects, including a retired serviceman and a paramilitary personnel, has been arrested during raids in Maharashtra and Goa since last midnight. Well, the examinations were held at 52 centres across the country. The army has ordered an internal inquiry into the matter as well. A youth who was among the 17 missing persons from Kerala and suspected to have joined the terror outfit Islamic State has been reportedly killed. Now, one of the relatives of the missing persons received a WhatsApp message saying that he was martyred, but there was no official confirmation so far. Now, NIA has been probing the case of the missing youths who had left the state and joined the Islamic State group. Jats observed a black day across Haryana on Sunday amid tight security arrangements, while the agitation passed off peacefully. Traffic on the Hisar-Rewari rail route was disrupted for some time. A large number of protesters, including women and children, participated in dharnas with the black ribbons, turbans, caps and armbands to show their resentment against the government towards their demands. Well, Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar will visit the United States from Tuesday this week. Well, during his visit, key bilateral issues including India's concerns over a possible clampdown on H-1B visas and safety of Indians are expected to be discussed. Well, according to the authorities concerned, Jaishankar will also be holding talks on regional and international issues of mutual interest with senior members of the U.S. President Donald Trump's administration during his 4-day visit. Now, Jaishankar is also likely to speak and meet the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Paul Ryan, and Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi as well. On the H-1B visa issue, India's view that Indian IT companies were contributing to the American economy by increasing the competitiveness of their firms will also be conveyed. Meanwhile, the recent killing of an Indian engineer in an apparent hate crime incident in Kansas City is also expected to figure during the discussions. On Sunday, India's envoy to the US, Navtej Sarnamit, met Donald Trump along with his counterparts from other countries at the White House. This was the first meeting of the top Indian diplomat with the Trump after he was sworn in as the US president on 20th of January this year. Meanwhile, the body of Srinivas Kuchibhotla, who was killed by an American in a bar of Kansas City, is expected to arrive in Hyderabad this evening. Now, Kuchibhotla's wife, Sunanya Dhumala, and his brother are accompanying the body. 32-year-old Kuchibhotla and his friend Alok Reddy Madasani were shot by Adam Purinton, who allegedly shouted, "Get out of my country," and called them terrorists before shooting them. Now, Kuchibhotla died of bullet injuries in hospital, while his friend Alok Madasani was critically injured. The authorities are investigating whether the killing was a hate crime. Earlier on Saturday, K. Sarak Ramarao, the Minister of NRI Affairs of Telangana, visited the house of Srinivas and consoled the grieving family members. The TMC also led dozens of people in holding a candlelight vigil in Kolkata to seek justice for Kuchibhotla. And the White House has dismissed suggestions that US President Donald Trump's rhetoric may have been responsible for the attack. Meanwhile, Kansas attack survivor Alok Madasani has made a plea for tolerance. And US President Donald Trump will not be attending the White House Correspondents Association annual dinner. Now, with this decision, he becomes the first US president to skip the gala event in decades. Well, Trump conveyed his decision on Twitter, wishing everyone a well and a great evening. Well, his decision comes in the backdrop of his raging tiff with the media. The event raises money for journalism scholarships and takes place every spring. It is usually attended by the president, journalists, celebrities, and Washington insiders. Well, Trump's announcement came a day after the White House excluded several major broadcasters and newspapers like the New York Times, the CNN, and BBC from an off-camera press briefing as well. Now, Richard Nixon was the last president to simply skip the event, doing so in 1972. And before we wrap up, well, the big Oscar night is on, and the first big winner for the night has been announced. Well, Mahershala Ali has made history by becoming the first Muslim to win an acting Oscar. He bagged the Best Supporting Actor trophy for his movie Moonlight. Well, Ali, who is 43 years old, and his riveting turn as an emphatic drug dealer who takes a fatherless young boy under his wing in the movie, won him the award. He was presented the ceremony's first trophy by last year's Supporting Actress winner, Alicia Vikander. Other nominees in the category were Indian-British actor Dev Patel for the movie Lion, Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water, Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea, and Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals. Now, this year, the film La La Land is expected to win big with 14 Academy nominations. That's it in this edition of News. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.